my glasses. Baby, start at the start. I laid my past on your table. You played cards with my heart. You watched my hands while I talked. Every twitch, every scar. Turn my secrets to a roadmap, straight to where my weak points are. I told you too much, opened every locked up room, let you walk around my ruins like a guest in my own gloom. Now every word cuts twice, one for you and one for me. I told you too much, and I set my own self free, just enough to watch me bleed. You kept your questions gentle, soft voice, sharpened edge, leaning in like a confessor while you pushed me to the ledge. You said I'd never use it against you. Slow smile, steady gaze, but you filed each story inside you like steel hidden in suede. I told you too much, opened every locked up room, let you walk around my rooms like a guest in my own gloom. Now every word cuts twice, one for you and one for me. I told you too much, and I set my own self free, just enough to watch me bleed. Funny how my own tongue became the rope around my throat. Yeah. Every truth I handed over was a line you used to quote. Now my silence is the only little promise I can keep. So I talk low, talk careful, and I dream what I can't speak. I told you too much, opened every locked up room, let you walk around my ruins like a guest in my own gloom. Now every word cuts twice, one for you and one for me. I told you too much, sold myself for your touch. What you called love was me betraying me. You came leaning in the doorway, smile soft as borrowed wine. Talking like you meant forever, I saying just tonight. You sat close enough to whisper every secret you rehearsed. You You was close enough to save me, close enough to do your worst. You was close enough to hurt me, close enough to know my name, close enough to read my histories, every scar, every flame. You held my heart like a matchbook, striking sparks, then let it burn. You was close enough to hurt me, too far gone to return. You learned the creak in my kitchen floor, where I pace when I can't sleep. You traced the crack in my bedroom wall, said it made the shadows deep. You knew the number to my weakness, called it every time it rained. You was close enough to hear me when I never said a thing. You was close enough to hurt me, close enough to count my sins, close enough to find the doorway I don't let nobody in. You held my heart like a matchbook, striking sparks, then let it burn. You was close enough to hurt me, and too far gone to return. Funny how the softest footsteps leave the loudest kind of bruise. You ain't even in this room now, still I'm wearing what you used. I keep your glass in the cupboard, lipstick ghost along the rim. You was close enough to haunt me, every light feels tied to you and them. Oh yeah, you was close enough to hurt me, close enough to hear me pray, close enough to turn the porch light into something cold and gray. You held my heart like a matchbook, watched it curl and watched it turn. You was close enough to hurt me, now it's my turn not to learn. So I locked that old front window, let the night wind pass on through. You was close enough to hurt me, but you ain't close enough to do it like you used to. Thought I was slipping in silence, thought my shame was mine to own. Whiskey breath, half-packed box, talking to the wall alone. You were sitting in the corner, eyes cold, taking in the scene, counting every little stumble, like you've been waiting there for me. Didn't know you was watching me fail, taking notes on every crack in my shell. You smiled when I slid, you grinned when I fell. I didn't know you was watching me fail. here to see you through. But your comfort came in whispers that grew sharper as they grew. You were feeding off my hoping. Each time hope slipped out my hand, you were leaning just a little, like a vulture in a suit and tie stance. I didn't know you was watching me fail, marking time till you could tell the tale. You lit up inside every time I derailed. I didn't know you was watching me fail. To the light, they gather at the window for another broken night. But I see you in the shadow. I ain't sleepwalking blind. You can feast on what's behind me. You ain't touching what's left in my mind. My fault, crawl through that jail. Now you the one looking fresh. So keep your private celebration in that dark, forgotten room. I'm walking out this evening, leave you staring at my empty doom. 'Cause I didn't know you was watching me fail. But you gon' hate watching me heal.